Sonic X Shadow Generations is less than a month away, and I could be more than excited for this game. The last time I was excited for a Sonic game was, Sonic Colors Ultimate. God, my opinions are all. Anyways, getting back to the good game, Shadow Generations is looking amazing so far. With the level design actually being so damn good, honestly. The boss is looking fun, and also being bundled with Sonic Generations is also a huge plus. However, with the recent news that we got in gameplay footage being shown now, I want to talk about Shadow Generation, or I guess the whole damn collection, to see what is going to be going on when this game releases, since I pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe Edition, so I'm going to be playing the game early. So of course, once I finish it, I'll probably make a spoiler-free review to give you my basic thoughts of what I thought of the game. And once the actual release date drops, I'll give you my full review, spoilers included. Without further ado though, I want to talk about in this video some of my predictions for Shadow Generations and my overall thoughts about the whole game and some of the issues I've seen other people mention. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, let's start off with the nitpicks I've seen Shadow Generations getting. So the first nitpick comes from the YouTube channel Unleash. Now this channel has been kind of recognized for being someone who criticizes some things, but hey, I think the dude is kind of cool. But in his latest Sonic X Shadow Generations video, he looked over the gameplay footage that we recently got of, Metal Overlord, Space Colony R, Kingdom Valley, and BioLizard. And he's saying that he's very upset about the ranking system. The ranking system seems easy as hell, that you barely have to put any effort into the ranking system. And I'm sad to say this, but from the looks of it, it kinda seems that way. I mean, some person plays the Sonic X Shadow Generations, takes so many hits to the BioLizard, and still gets an S rank. And this is a main problem with Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces. And also Sonic Frontiers, but that's for older cyberspace. But you get the point. The main recent Sonic games, including Generations, has a problem: the ranking system. It's either way too easy and barely having no challenge put into it. And for new players, this is a good thing. And I can honestly see why Sega did this, because they're attracting kids to their audience and obviously want them to play their games. So they obviously have to make it a little bit easier with a little bit of challenge put into it. And I could see Shadow Generations being the exact same game. A game that has the ranking system that is made for new younger audiences that have just got into the series, and also filled with level design choices that fans of the series love. And just honestly, I think that's the route they're taking. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do. The ranking system is going to be targeted to younger audiences who just started playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And the level design choices are for fans that have, grown up since Sonic began. And I mean, if that's what they're doing here, it's a really cool idea, honestly. Because, Sonic is a kid-inspired game franchise. And while there's many other older audiences that really do love to see a harder ranking system, that's what made games like Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Adventure 2, and even Sonic Colors enjoyable. But I think what Sega is trying to do here is try to even it out a bit with Shadow Generations. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong on this. And if this is not what they're doing, then the ranking system is going to be incredibly disappointing. But I just think it'd be a really cool idea if they are targeting this game for a younger audience, but apparently it's like E10 plus, then honestly, then just make the ranking system a bit easy. And I know this game is E10 plus, so 10 years and above, So it's gonna have some graphic things, but I don't think it's too much to expel the audience. But overall, besides that, there are really other no nitpicks I've seen of this. That besides some people saying it looks like Forces, which I just completely don't agree. The only real major nitpick right now is that we just got the ranking system. And honestly, not a big deal honestly on it. I know other fans are gonna be but I'm just worried about the levels actually being good. But, you know, it could be used a bit of a challenge. But really, I think my point still stands, and that's really what they're trying to do. Okay, that's pretty much what we're done with the nitpick section. Now it's time to talk about my predictions of this game and what I think could possibly be introduced. Firstly, let's go over the basic stuff. The levels. The levels in Shadow Generation so far, apparently we got 6 confirmed, I think. The ones we have confirmed, like, officially, is Space Colony Arc, Bullet Station / Real Canyon, Kingdom Valley, Sunset Heights, and Chaos Island, with possible Radical Highway, and what I've seen to see, Westopolis, which is the first level in Shadow the Hedgehog, you know, Shadow's own title. So yeah, those are 2 possible levels coming. We already know Radical Highway is going to be that one section where Dude just manipulates time and everything. But I really think it's cool to see Shadow the Hedgehog gain some, representation in Shadow Generations. So yeah, really cool touch. But I think what I want to see most is a Shadow the Hedgehog level for the final level. Now, I never played Shadow the Hedgehog, and I most likely never will because I'm never going to pick up a GameCube. Anywho, I have a crazy thing too, and this might be a far stretch too, but do you remember that little Sonic the Hedgehog game that played in the open world, like the mini world in Sonic Generations? Well, what if in Shadow Generations, in the hub world there, you get to play Shadow the Hedgehog? Hey, it'd be really cool, honestly. I'm very excited for what they could do for the levels in Shadow Generations though. Like, seeing Radical Highway would be a cool representation of Sonic Adventure 2, and since they brought City Escape in Sonic Generations, why couldn't they bring Radical Highway from Sonic Adventure 2 as well? But also, I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of Adventure 2, but it would be cool to see some representation in this game since, that's Shadow's very first game. So, yeah. Anywho, I want to talk about the boss fights now. So, the boss fights in Shadow Generations has already been... We already got some confirmed, like the Bio Lizard, Metal Overlord, Sonic, and Mephiles. And yes, it is confirmed, Sonic is going to be a rival fight in this game. So, what it seems to be going on here is that we're going to have boss fights, but also rival fights. And that's pretty cool too. I'm excited to see what they do to the bosses as well. The bosses seem like a major impact in the series. And I want to talk about 2 in particular boss fights that could appear in Shadow Generations. First, an obvious one, Knight from Sonic Frontiers. Since Chaos Island is coming back, come on, you have to bring back Knight. It's literally the main boss for Chaos Island. And it would be a huge missed opportunity to not bring Knight back. However, I also think they could bring back Supreme, since Supreme has wings, and Supreme was heavily disappointed in Frontiers. But thankfully, Final Horizon fixed him up a bit. But technically, that wasn't really Supreme. That was the end. So it doesn't really count for Supreme's case either. So if we ever get to see Supreme again, I would really just love to see him actually get a full chance for a boss fight, since he got missed opportunity in Sonic Frontiers. Another boss fight I think could come back is Infinite for Forces. And come on, if you're bringing back Mephiles, you have to bring back Infinite. I mean, come on, He's the main villain in the Forces, or at least one of them besides Eggman. I just really want to see Infinite and Shadow Generations because it would just fit so well since Sunset Heights is coming back. And just, I mean, come on, it'd just be perfect. No, I am asking though, why you bring back Sunset Heights for Shadow when don't bring enemy territory? When it's just basically Sunset Heights, but it's Shadow's level. I'm a little confused on that, but hey, whatever. Sunset Heights was one of the better levels in Forces, if you ask me. While it was incredibly disappointing, to say the least, in some cases, since kind of it was a straight line, it was still a beautiful level and honestly fun to speedrun. So bringing it back in Shadow Generations, you could do a lot of things, like we see in some gameplay footage where we got some cinematics. Mixing Sunset Heights level design plus the cinematics of Shadow Generations, and you probably get one of the best levels in Sonic history. One last thing I want to talk about for Shadow Generations is the Doom Powers. The Doom Powers is gonna be really cool. We already got what Doom Powers are coming to the game. Doom Spears, Doom Blast, Doom Morph, Doom Wing, and Doom Surf. All these abilities look super fun to use, especially Doom Wing and Doom Morph. Doom Surf especially is going to be used for the Metal Overlord boss fight. And, really cool honestly. You'll be unlocking all these Doom powers from these special eggs around the open world. And just, it's also fun to see these Doom Morphs, Doom powers come to life and use them in the open world too. I just really love what Sega's doing here. They're mixing the Doom powers fit into the actual levels, but also use them in the open world. So before you go into the levels to use them, you can actually test them in the open world. And just, that's such a good idea, in which I'm super surprised Sega's actually doing. And honestly, just the Doom powers as a whole just looks super cool, honestly. The open zone as a whole is going to be really fun. I am super confident that this world is going to be better than every island in Sonic Frontiers. And I'm not capping on that. These Doom powers are going to change the game for sure. One thing before we end off this video I want to talk about is Sonic Generations. Okay, I know. You guys don't care about the Generations quote-unquote remaster, but please let me just try to talk about one of my personal favorite Sonic games. So, Sonic Generations is being bundled with Shadow Generations, as we already know. It's a game where you play as modern and classic Sonic, and it's one of my favorite Sonic games, period. Second behind Unleashed so far. So, what is going to be special about Generations in this new remaster? Well, they're adding brand new Chao missions. And that's basically it. There's no graphical changes, nothing added to the original story for the game, but outside of Shadow Generations. So basically, it's just going to be the Sonic Generations we know and love. Which is super disappointing, but come on, it's Sonic Generations. I love this game no matter what they do to it. So, I have really nothing else to say about Sonic Generations outside. I'm super excited for both games, and it's going to be super fun to revisit Sonic Generations once again. But that's going to end it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching this Sonic X Shadow Generations video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.